Dr. Stanfield, thank you. During the adjournment, I asked you to give some thought to how you felt this matter could be resolved. Did you manage to come up with any ideas?
I've had a long think about it, and I think probably the easiest of the lot is if both of us just decide that this was just a bad experience. I don't really want to sue him. I don't know if he really wants to sue me. I'd just give him the whole business back. He can have his machines, he can have his leased property, etc. Just let me get out. And I think he probably might want to get out as well.
So if I understand you correctly, that would mean that the lease is cancelled.
Yep.
And that you don't sue him and he withdraws his action against you.
Walk away from one.
And you give him the business back, as it were.
I would be more than happy to do that because this has just been the wrong thing for me.
Okay. Any other options?
You know, I've put a lot of time and a lot of effort into getting this up, running. Financially, I thought that was running fairly well. Maybe I've been wrong. I've enjoyed what I've done. It's part of my vision. I'm just very bruised at the way it's all come out, but maybe the whole thing is designed to fail in that the rentals are so high, the machine financing costs are so high that maybe if we just became a bit more realistic and dropped that rental and extended the amount of time before which Clive would want to return on investment, maybe it might work.
So the two alternatives that you have in mind, the one would mean terminating the business, the other would mean proceeding with it more or less as you're doing at the moment, just at different rates.
Yes.
Are there any other options that you could think of?
Maybe Clive might want to have a closer look at the books, because I haven't been that prudent in watching the books. I thought Sue was pretty good at it, but I'm open. I'm open to an audit. In fact, we have to have an audit in the next 2 months anyway.
Okay, you mentioned that he is a good businessman.
Yep.
I do want to tell you that I did communicate your concerns to him. That you mandated me to tell him, about how this made you feel, and that you
not sleeping.
I've communicated all that to him, and he has mandated me to tell you that he feels you are a good man.
That's actually quite nice.
He wanted me to tell you that, but he also has asked me to communicate to you that the accusations that you have levelled against him about dishonesty, he feels very, very hurt by, and he has asked me to canvass with you the possibility of your perhaps apologising to him. Before you answer that question, what I'd like to ask you is, have you given any consideration to perhaps looking at Clive and you working a bit closer going forward? Is this something that you would not be prepared to do, or is it something you'd be prepared to consider?
Let's look at first things first. I was inflamed when I accused him of being dishonest. I admit that.
Okay. Well, that's very big of you, I must say.
I was also very upset and hurt the way that he just went and issued summons. But two wrongs don't make a right, so I'd look at maybe retracting from what I'd said there.
Okay. I think that's very good of you. That's. I think that'll mean a lot to Clive. And I think that'll go a long way to restoring your relationship.
Yeah, I just was cross.
Okay. So having said that, as I say, I think that's going to go a long way to restoring your relationship. But given your qualities and the fact that Clive can't run this business without you, and given Clive's qualities, it seems to me that there might be some sense in the two of you trying to look at working a little more closely than you have in the past going forward. How would that make you feel?
I think if we can look at fixing our relationship, which was rocky or is rocky, there's nothing wrong with the machinery. There's nothing wrong with the passion that I have to fix young athletes, and the outcomes were pretty good. I don't have bookkeeping skills, and I've trusted Sue. But if Clive thinks he can maybe do a better job, I'd look at it. Yeah.
Now, Clive's also mandated me to communicate to you that he has a real problem with Sue, and that
Sue?
and that a relationship going forward with you would require that Sue be excluded from the picture. How does that make you feel?
Is this not just sour grapes because he had a relationship with her?
I think you must make your own conclusions as far as that is concerned. I really can't go there. But it seems to me that Clive has a very good, positive feeling about you. You are prepared to apologize for what seems to have been said in a heated moment. And as I've said, you both have qualities that I think would go very well together in making this business a success. If Sue is the only thing that's in the way of achieving that, what would your feeling be about saying, okay, let's exclude her from our future plans, if I can put it that way?
I'm just thinking from Sue's point of view. She's stood by me. She's helped me in the business. Clive hasn't. If we're looking at the bigger picture, and if she's the only piece that doesn't fit in this jigsaw puzzle, then we have to make it worth her while. One's going to actually be fair to her in terms of basic conditions, etc. Pay her out, maybe give her a little bit more than that. I don't have any personal interest in Sue.
I see.
I have a passion for sports medicine, and if by Clive and myself getting together and doing this in this time a very clear agreement that is analysed by my attorneys and by his, because I have been burnt once, I'd consider that.
You would, okay. And can you see this business perhaps growing to new levels?
I've only got one machine. We've got millions of athletes. That was my passion.
Clive's financial position, would he be able to inject more capital into this and perhaps grow your dream and your passion as well?
I don't know. I mean, I'd be quite happy if he would volunteer to do that, but I'm not privy to his finances.
Would you mandate me to put the three proposals or the three options on the table that we've now discussed?
Mm-hmm.
One option being giving him the business back.
Yep.
The second is a reduced rental and payoff terms. And the third is going forward, perhaps the two of you working together more closely and running this as a joint venture, perhaps of some kind.
Go with that.
And sorting out the problem with Sue. You happy?
I'm quite happy to hear what he has to say.
I think at this point it would be useful if I meet with Clive for a short session, and I put these proposals to him. And if I believe that it's appropriate, then I'm going to put the two of you together so that you can see whether you can't reach consensus on this matter.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Seinfeld.
Good.